This incredibly good-looking thing is the BMW i8, and what it is the vision into the future. It's an entirely new breed of sports car. It is built on the LifeDrive architecture, which is made up of two modules. The drive module, the aluminum chassis, and the electric motor in front of it, and the 3-cylinder gasoline engine behind it. The Life module is the carbon fiber passenger cell and the high voltage battery that sits right in the middle of the car. The outer skin of the car is made from thermoplastic, so you can forget about rusty body panels and possibly door things. The interior is absolutely fantastic. Fit and finish are flawless, the materials are all exceptional, and the design really works for me. I mean, I really like how this thing looks and feels. Also, sitting in it for many hours, no problem. It's roomy, comfortable, and the seats are amazing. The front axle is powered by an electric motor making 131 horsepower. The rear axle is powered by a 1.5 3-cylinder twin-power turbo engine making 231 horsepower. The combined total is 362 horsepower and 420 pound-feet of torque. Needless to say, performance is breathtaking. There is no central differential, so when operating in EV mode, it is front-wheel drive, and when the gas engine kicks in, it becomes all-wheel drive. The EV range when driven in e-drive mode is about 25 kilometers, and you can drive up to 120 kilometers an hour without using a single drop of gas. When you drive it in sport mode, apart from delivering all the thrilling performance, it quietly recharges the batteries. So if you drive it for long enough, you'll eventually have another 25 kilometers of EV range to go. That's pretty brilliant. In comfort mode, it acts like a regular plug-in hybrid, meaning that it tries to exhaust the batteries before it fires up the gas-sipping monster in the back. In Eco Pro mode, everything is tuned for maximum efficiency. The transmission, throttle response, heating and cooling, everything works at the optimum efficiency. In Sport mode, which is the best mode, maximum potential is unleashed. Also, maximum regen happens at both throttle and braking applications, so it's pretty fun as you kind of generate electricity on the go. Now check this out, driven in sport mode all the time, the worst fuel economy you can achieve is 8.3 liters per 100 kilometers on average. For the performance you get, that's outstanding. With the help of the launch control, 0 to 100 kilometers an hour comes in 4.4 seconds and on to the top speed of 250 kilometers an hour, which is electronically limited. In a straight line, this thing will easily outrun an M4, so performance goes hand in hand with the looks. Even though there's no link connecting the front and the rear drive axles, it works wonderfully well. I mean, it's perfectly synchronized. It feels as good as the regular xDrive system does. Handling is outstanding. You get a supercar-like experience behind the wheel of this car, but without the V10 or V8 pushing you around. There's no screaming sound like that. It's a little bit more science fiction. Through corners, it remains very flat, and dynamically it's very well balanced, also thanks to that 50-50 weight distribution. Grip limits are extremely high, and at the limit, it remains very progressive and very safe. Going sideways is not really its thing, but going really fast on a proper race line, that definitely is. On the track, I expect it to be neck to neck with an entry-level 911, but consuming half. The chassis is extremely rigid, and that doesn't do any favors to the suspension in terms of ride comfort. I mean, even in comfort mode, it's still a bit too stiff. But you know what? The overall experience and the seat is also really good, so at the end of the day, who cares? The steering feels really good. It's quick, direct, and it really feels nice and connected. The brake pedal also feels really good, But unfortunately, the brakes are not as strong as on the M cars. From 100 kilometers an hour, it came to a complete stop in 43 meters, which is not that good. Visibility is generally pretty good. I mean, you also get the bird's eye view, so parking this really wide thing is kind of easy. And the blind spots do exist, but if you set your mirrors a little bit wider and you move your head around when you're actually checking them, you should be fine. Getting in the car is the hardest part. You need to master the ass first technique to avoid pulling any muscles. Oh, and before I forget, you also get rear seats. They're not really usable since they are seriously tight, but they are there just in case you need them. Also, the trunk is just over 150 liters, which means it will fit a couple of backpacks or shopping bags, but for what it is, I can definitely live with that. Prices start at $150,000 Canadian. The good thing is that there are not a lot of options to pick from, so prices tend to stick to that. This thing is definitely a vision into the future. The good thing about it is that it absolutely works today. When it comes to buying a vehicle that's exceptionally rare and unique and special, this is it. It doesn't get much more special than this.